reached the end of the season.
Yeah.
How are you feeling heading into this weekend?
Excited. I think everything's coming together, and it's going to be exciting to see what we can do.
And then this past weekend, I mean, second out of, I think, 11 teams. I mean, that was a really great performance all around. Can you just kind of recap?
Yeah, definitely solid results, and we actually didn't bring our top distance runners, kind of a group of them that had raced at California, so they stayed back just to rest before the Goliaths, and so that was actually with missing quite a few people. So definitely throwers did well, sprinters, hurdlers, pole vaulters, high jump, everybody all across the board. They had some really good results. So in some of their best of the season. So it's looking good heading into the conference championships. It'll be fun to see what they can do.
Something that's kind of unique is you don't really go up against other, see other teams in the Goliath before this. I know Tech was there at this last one, but how are you expecting to do this weekend? What runners, what
Yeah, well,
throwers?
it's kind of interesting with track and field. There's a system called the TFers where everybody's best results throughout the season gets put on a list, so you can actually see each individual event and where we're sitting in each individual event. But then, of course, everybody they put their entries in between yesterday at 8 a.m. and today at noon, and the coaches can't see each other's entries. But based on that list, I mean, we're at the top. I mean, like, for example, Danielle is ranked in the top three and in all three throwing events. A couple of our mid-distance runners are ranked right up there. Our distance runners and a couple of our hurdles, and high jump, and so we're definitely up there in a lot of events. So I think if we can compete up to our potential, definitely could have some great results and a lot of people on the podium. So it'll be exciting to see what we can do.
Danielle, school record?
Yeah, she broke it in California, and then she broke it again this last weekend. So she's really, and she's close to the NCAA provisional mark in the other two events, in both the hammer and hammer throw and discus also, and that was the shot put. And then we have some other athletes that are really close to the provisional mark in their events. So it's definitely been a great season so far.
Just overall thoughts on the season heading in. I know we're not doing this next week, so just kind of your overall thoughts on the season before the last one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really impressed with the team because we did finish fifth. We were only a few points out of fourth in the indoor, but I feel like we've stepped it up even more on this outdoor season. And then there's some events that aren't in indoor that are in outdoor, that we're pretty strong in. So I think that shows, and I think that with the depth of our team, because we have strong at like mid-distance and distance, we have enough like three strong ones in almost every event. So, and same with the throws, and that throws group has really moved up. So it's going to be, I'm just impressed with the team. It's going to be exciting to see what we can do, and against the other teams, I think we have a solid chance at being up there in the conference.
Right. Well, we didn't see you last week because you were in Indianapolis.
We sure were.
Can you just go through Indianapolis and then Concordia?
Yeah, so UND, number 3 team in the country, their only loss on the season is won by a 1-goal differential to the number 1 team in the country, Florida Southern. They have wins over all of the top teams in our region, and they have wins over a lot of the top teams in the country. So we knew big gun coming in, like that was going to be a tough one for us, and thinking of it more of as a speed of play and intensity prep for Concordia coming off of Saginaw, just because it is such a different level of game. That even though obviously we had the outcome that we had, being able to have the first half we had before we just ran out of steam and physically couldn't move was really important to us, being able to be tough enough to handle the violence of the Concordia St. Paul game and the kind of intensity there. But when you watch a team like UND, we have great athletes. We have really skilled players. They have people that move at a different speed and that are a different height. And just to be able to have played them the way we did in that first half, I was really proud of us. And Josie, obviously, being able to produce still against the number 3 team in the country and be able to get our offense moving, that was huge. We did turn the ball over at a rate that I have never experienced, but I think that's just part of, again, that gap. That gap's there, and it's real against the top 5 teams in the country this year are different. So, but I do think that was an important game for us speed-wise to be able to prep when we weren't going to have a lot of practice time leading up to CSP. And again, like, game speed from Saginaw to CSP, like, complete opposite types of games. So I thought it was an important learning lesson. It was a lot of travel, though. We were home for one day last week, so it's different. Yeah.
And then Concordia, St. Paul, you were able to take that one.
We rallied after lots of travel, short trip home. I think we had one day of practice in the Dome because we took some off days. I thought that was really fun, especially we lost in the bubble last year. The bubble is, they have a blow-up bubble at Concordia St. Paul that sits right on the edge of the football field, so you play like really tight, like the sidelines are hashed, spray-painted lines that are inside of the football field line, so it's, like, tight. It feels really, really small. And then the fans, because it was their senior day, and then our entire, like, parent group show, I bet we might have had 80 people just for Northern Michigan there. They're just right on the sideline. Like, the ball goes out, it's a foot, there's people's feet. Like, it feels like a real college athletic game. It's really, really cool in there. But last year, we had a really rough time in there. We didn't handle the pressure. We didn't handle playing in front of our parents well. We had a lot of stuff go wrong. And just be able to go in there, and it's always, when you go to Minnesota, the reffing is so different because the only teams that exist are high school or D3. And so Concordia St. Paul is the only D2 team. The reffing is really different. So we just knew going in it was going to be violent and that we were going to have to handle being punched consistently for the entire game, and we were. So I thought us being able to overcome that, score the way that we did, Josie to have the assist that she did, Avery Lorenzer to have the breakout game she did with 5 goals, was just huge. And our defense came up with a ton of big stops. They played really well in the Dome, which it can be really hard to play in that bubble because it's loud and weird and dark. It's like playing in a balloon. It's very odd. So just being able to come together, and then Lauren Esposito, our goalie, had a really, really big game. There was a couple possessions where she would have like 3 stops in a row, and then our defense would run it, and then there would be a hard collision that might have been a foul called in any other place but wasn't, and then you have to play another 90 seconds of defense, 2 big stops. It's just, their toughness was huge, especially after just a lot of games and a lot of travel in 7 days. So proud of us for that weekend.
What are the pros and cons of going from Concordia St. Paul to Concordia St. Paul?
Yeah, it's odd. I mean, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. But I do feel like beating them at home is the hardest thing because they do have such a unique home court advantage. They play into the officiating they know they're going to get, which is that's what you do. And then they have that great home crowd always, and they play really well because they're used to that bubble. And their intensity level, it was senior day, the intensity level was really high. So to be able to play them in the conference tournament where you have a 4th official, and that changes a little bit of some things, and then neutral ground where it's Grand Valley, where our team is we're all very used to playing at Grand Valley. It'll just change some of the aggression factors and make it a smoother game is what I would anticipate. So less hard hits, more speed. I think a little bit more strategy we'll be able to do just because it won't be as it's tight in the Dome. Like it's like there's a lot of collisions. It's just a really small field. There's not a way to get away from people, and I think just being able to play them for the 3rd time on a neutral ground will suit us as long as we come in and we play hard and we follow our game plan that we've had for the last 2 games, and we don't do things that will play into their strategies. Like they double the ball really early and they slide really early and they're really big defensively and really punchy, and if you just kind of run through them or you make the early feed to the inside, we're going to have a ton of turnovers and we're going to have to play a ton of defense. So if we're smart with that sort of thing strategically, I think we can have success as long as we got to play really hard. So
with Concordia St. Paul, like when they're home, like kind of having more leeway with the reffing,
Mm-hmm.
do they sometimes do you see them like struggle almost like away when they're dealing with refs that don't give them?
Oh yeah. It's actually really interesting, again, region to region, just to see the different reffing things, because we struggle with it too when we go other places, when we're used to having certain things called or certain things not called, and then you go You go to a different region and they're like, they think every pick is illegal. So now there's like 16 illegal picks in a game. That's an exaggeration, but like 3 illegal picks in a game to cause turnovers that like change possession of the ball, or like a ton of illegal contact calls, which are all green cards. So if you look statistically at the foul count for Concordia St. Paul on away games, it's always way, way higher, especially with green cards, just based on the refs that they're getting are doing games where they're expected to play call green cards, where the refs that aren't seeing college games aren't, like, those calls don't exist in high school. So it's just like, you see it, and I think that they make in-game adjustments, but it can be hard if you're used to like being able to cause turnovers in a specific way. That's now is going to be called as a foul. Yeah, because we've experienced that too. It's the difference of officiating from like Ohio to Colorado to Michigan. I love our downstate Michigan refs that do the MAC games. I trust them. I know what we get to expect, but like you never know when you're going to get region to region. Like some people, it's very variant what you're going to see. Yeah.
I know you said that you feel like you're in a simulation, probably like going against the same two
Yeah.
teams for 4 straight years.
Yeah.
But how are you feeling heading into facing top 2 teams?
Yeah. This year I feel like we have more, even though the scores weren't as close as last year, we have more of an intense rivalry with Concordia St. Paul this year. And so there's more excitement, more intensity, more, our team cares so much about that first game, which is huge because you got to win Friday to earn the Saturday practice. The Saturday practice of the year is everybody's favorite day, and you have to play as hard as you can to get that. But again, at the same time, like, I've been here 4 years in a row, same team, same locker room, same side of the bench. Like, you know what you're facing. But with this year's team and how strong that rivalry is, I'm just excited to see how we can empty the tank in that game to try to earn Saturday. Yeah.
What's Saturday practice?
It's just always good vibes, you know. It's almost every year it's been sunny and you're outside, and obviously we don't practice outside that much here. Like, everybody's happy about just having earned one more day. The seniors are always like, everyone's always just really happy. And then you're prepping for a team you've played 3 times. So yes, there's prep work. Yes, we like take film really seriously, and we would, if we were to get lucky enough to earn that game, like, we would be a serious practice. But it's always my favorite day of the year. We also every year have done that. We've earned that spot in the final. We do a graduation in the hotel that day. So that's the other reason Saturday's our favorite, is just watching everybody cry and love each other in the hotel. It's very cool. And it's something that I'm really proud that we do, but we have to earn it. So, and sometimes we play like a fun, silly game on Saturday after all the seriousness to take joy in one more day together.
And then, win, lose, loss, trophy, no trophy. This is it.
This is it.
Can you talk about this journey for you?
Yeah, it's so funny because I think about it in so many different ways. And one of the ways that I keep thinking about it is, so we're staying at a different hotel this time. And I was thinking about it. I've been here for 7 years. I've spent probably 6 months of my life in the Holiday Inn Grand Rapids Airport, which is the last hotel that we usually stay at. And we changed it this time because the kids wanted it. And I think that's a really good way to like think back on my time here, is like all of the different teams we had at that hotel, all the different experiences we had at that hotel, and how we earned the right to 4 years ago start staying one more night at the conference tournament, and how cool that was, and how we 3 years ago, or Quinn's first year, we started doing that hotel graduation, and how special that was. And that was at the Holiday Inn Grand Rapids Airport. And just like all the different memories for my athletes, all the different people we've had that have all come through that hotel have also all been through our program. And it's just been a really special ride, and it doesn't feel like it's ending, but I'm proud of what we've done. I'm proud of 7 years of every year getting a little bit better, even if the last 3 years it's been really incremental, and maybe the record doesn't always show it. We're in such a different place than we were 7 years ago. I can recruit such different people, and Northern Michigan itself has grown so much. I think the culture of our team and the people that we have here are special, and they fit in a way that they didn't before, and I love how comfortable our team is with each other and how much they love each other and how much they support each other, even if they're not all best friends and they're not all the same. I think that's part of what makes it great here. It was weird to say goodbye to the turf because it's gone now. They rolled it up for graduation. I might never see it again. I'm sure I'll be back to visit, but it is just it's a different animal. Some of it feels like it just happened. Feels like I just got here 7 years ago and was like meeting Minnie Battelle for the first time because we got to campus on the same day, and she's still here and I'm still here. And some of it feels like it's been a lifetime. So feel super honored to have been here, and I hope we get just a couple more days than we're supposed to. It'll be really special.